J'ai cru aux anges, j'ai cru au roi.
Je ne savais pas mentir. She came from fields of winter wheat, with morning on her hands. No jewels sewn into her dress, no title to command. They called her pure, they called her brave. They placed the flag above her. A frightened girl became their hope, because they needed one. She raised the crown, she saved the throne. She gave them all she had. And when the kingdom stood again, they slowly stepped away.
Save the crown,
Protect the throne,
hear the bells,
walk alone. She gave them every breath she had. They never spoke of what came after that.
J'ai porté votre couronne, vous m'avez laissé tomber. J'ai sauvé votre royaume,
Mais qui viendra me sauver?
la couronne pour le roi, les cendres pour la fille, les cloches sonnent pour le roi.
Et le silence pour la fille.
Crown for the king, ashes for the girl. The bells kept ringing while they changed the world. Joan, they praised your name until the kingdom felt no pain. Crown for the king, the girl for the flame.
Qui viendra?
Qui viendra?
Qui viendra me sauver? The king stood warm beneath the gold. Her prison walls were cold. The hands that once had reached for hers now did as they were told. They called her faith a sickness. They twisted every word. The voices once called heavenly were suddenly absurd. She waited for the hooves outside. She waited by the gate. But the kings remember miracles only until they feel safe.
J'ai porté votre couronne, vous m'avez laissé tomber. J'ai sauvé votre royaume,
Mais qui viendra me sauver?
la couronne pour le roi, les cendres pour la fille, les cloches sonnent pour le roi.
Et le silence pour la fille. Je vous ai donné ma jeunesse, mon sang, ma voix, ma foi. Vous avez pris mon innocence, puis vous avez sauvé